Hi and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be unboxing an Oyster crate, and Oyster actually reached out to me and they sent me this crate to review for you guys and to let you know my thoughts about it. So I'm really excited to open it up and to tell you more about Oyster. Okay, so Oyster is a STEAM-based program that provides kids with hands-on projects that introduce them to different career paths, which I just think is really cool and really fun and maybe not something you'd find in other crates. So these crates are $39.99, I believe, $39.95. I was off by 4 cents a month, but if you get them for a little bit longer subscriptions, you can get it for a little bit cheaper. And I do have a code that would get you $10 off your first month of whatever type of subscription you choose. And right now they're running kind of a promotion type thing on their website. If you open up their website, you can see it on the top, that if you do a 6 or 12 month subscription, you get $25 off. And so you could use both codes, my code and that code, and get $35 off your 6 to 12 month subscription if you want to do that. So I'll make sure all the codes are listed down below. I believe mine's just Jackie10. I'll put it across the screen here. And then you can check it out if you want to do that. But I'm really excited to open this up. So let's get into it. So on their website, you'll be able to see that they have subscriptions for kids ages like 3 to 12. So this one is for 5+, which is what it shows right here. And it says it's a Geologist kit. So I'm excited to see what we have in here. So at the top, it says, "Hey Geologist," and I think it is telling you the different things that you're gonna be able to do in this crate, which is something that I noticed from their website, is that there are a lot of activities in here. So I'm excited to try them out. I'll probably do it with my 6-year-old son. My other kids might become involved too. We'll kind of see how it goes. So there's safety instructions, which is always good for us, because we're not very safe. I'm just kidding. And then we have the Geologist Guide, and the name Oyster comes from "The world is your oyster," which I think is super cute. So that's on the back. And this is gonna be fun to look through. You know, I've done a lot of other unboxings of crates and stuff like that, of different subscriptions, but it's always fun to get a new one and just not even know what to expect and be able to try it out. So there's some different instructions in there. And then we have this little packet. It looks like felt pieces, but I'm not sure, like maybe a sturdier felt in there. And then you can see there's a bunch of other things in here, and I'm not gonna know what they all are. And so it's gonna be really hard to tell. That's why we'll go through it all and I'll review it at the end. But this looks maybe like something wooden. In this box, there's a whole bunch of cotton balls. So if you want to clean out your ears or something, I don't know. That's what those remind me of. They just remind me of like having new like ears pierced and having to swab your ears. And then this is a little plastic container in here. You can see it through all the bubble wrap. So that's what that is. And then we have a whole bunch of this. I forget what this is called. We just used this in a maker crate recently, but it's like that felt, but you pull it apart. You know, I'll figure it out eventually and I'll let you know. But there's several different colors. There's some different sand, like a whole bunch of different sand colors in here for us to use. So maybe we'll sit outside. And then we have some seashells, like super teeny little seashells right there. And then this is a rock. Maybe we're gonna be studying this rock. And we have a bag in here. And it says "Structure of the Earth." Oh, this is cool. And this bag that kind of goes through that. We talked about Earth science a little bit last year. So this will be a little bit of a review. We have this little thing that folds up into something, and then a picture of a volcano. It's on pretty like thick paper too. So that's what's in here. I'm just excited to try this out because I have no idea what to expect. This is completely new to me, but I think it'll be a lot of fun for at least one of my kids or all of them. We'll see who all gets involved in it, but I'm gonna let them get at it and I will come back here and give you my thoughts. Okay, so we did the oyster crate and it was really a lot of fun, and there was a lot of activities and all my kids ended up participating just because that's just the way it goes sometimes, especially in homeschool. But I'm gonna show you some of the activities that we did. I feel like it took us maybe an hour and a half, and they show 2+ hours usually for the activities, but my kids were either working on something together or they were working at different projects at the same time. So I feel like, yes, it would be over 2 hours normally, but since they were all working together, it went faster. And that is another thing I did notice about this that I really loved, that I feel like it would be really good for group work. So it's really good for homeschool because you can do it all together as a group. And there's plenty of projects to work on. There's things that are interesting to all the kids. And even if you don't have them do separate projects, I feel like some of the projects required more than one kid's help anyways, because I'll explain in a minute which projects those were, but some of them got a little tired, so they traded out turns and stuff like that. So I feel like it worked well. I feel like it would work really well for a homeschool space if you have kids within the same age ranges or pretty close. You know, mine are all like within 5 years. And so if you have that kind of spread, this would work well because they all were able to kind of participate, and it was really good. It was good fun. So the first project that we did was this bag right here. So the bag's already put together and everything, but these felt pieces on the front you put on. Well, not you, but anyways. And so mostly my 6-year-old did this, but then my 8-year-old girl helped as well. So it has a little, what's this called? Legend? No, I don't know. I can't think of the word right now. But to help you understand which layers these are, so like the yellow is the inner core, outer core, you know, and so on. And then has the earth on the other side to show you what's inside. So I just thought this was a fun way to teach this idea. And it's also something you can use like all the time. You know, you can put your stuff in it and use the bag. So you're constantly being reminded of what the earth looks like. And so I thought that was really cool, and something we have studied this. We did study earth science last year. And so it was a good review also for us to go back through that. So that was one of the projects we did. And then the next one, let's see if we make a mess, is sand art, which we've been getting crafts from Michael's recently that have sand art, and my kids love them. Love them. So they were so excited when they saw this. And so you can follow the picture in here. Let me get the instructions. So they have a picture right here of what the volcano could look like. And then you just pull off the sticky and put down the sand. And so I feel like the blue was the only one that it was like you needed all the sand to fill it in because it was so much blue. And the only thing that's really hard about this is trying to get the stickers up once you already have some of the sand on there. My kids have these, I don't have the tool right here, but from their other sand art kits, it just has a little bit of a flat end on it. I don't know how to explain it. It's like one of those nail things. That's what it kind of looks like, that you push your nail beds back. And that's what they use. And so then it helps them like get under the corner without ruining the sand. So that's the only thing you might need something, or you could even try to use like a toothpick to try to get under there, something that's a little bit pointy to try to pull off the other sticky. But this was cool. And I like how at the beginning of each new activity, they explain about it and talk about it a little bit. So we'd like read through this together and then we'd do the activity. So a few of my kids worked on this one while some of my other kids worked on the next project. So the next one was a project, like I was saying at the beginning, that they kind of took turns doing because it was a little bit harder and you get tired. So basically you get this big brick right here that has stones in it. And so they're gonna break it apart. And so here are the stones right here, at least 5 of them. And then they also give you a piece of pumice to do experiments with because pumice floats. And so you can put it in water. So the pumice doesn't stick on here because it just has too many edges. It's too porous. It's just really hard to get it to stick. The other ones are doing a good job, but the pumice is not. So these are all stones that they found in this clay rock. And it tells you to put it in the box, which I thought was helpful when you're breaking it apart because it will make a mess. You can take it outside as well. If you've seen like the little eggs that you can break apart, it's a similar thing where it makes a big mess. And so I would recommend either taking it outside or putting it in the box like it says to in the instructions, because I felt like that helped a lot to control the mess. And then it gives you these little tools right here. So you have this little hammer. This one's kind of like a chisel. And then you have a little paintbrush that you can brush off all the dust from them. So this little hammer, while cute, does not work very well. And so we actually used one of our own hammers, and we have a smaller kid size one. And then we also used a slightly bigger one, and that worked better for what we were doing. So that's what I would recommend. This guy just doesn't really have enough force to him to do much to break this stone apart. So that took a while. That was probably the project that took the longest, is trying to break the stone apart and find all the little gems inside. But my kids enjoyed doing it. They enjoyed working together. They were very excited when it broke apart and they could actually find a rock, because sometimes they broke it apart and there wasn't anything. And then they also got to put together this little picture frame thing here. So that's a cute little way to store it. And then the next part was mineral resources. And so it's talking about the different layers of rock and how that comes to be. And so it does that. It shows you how that works through this little guy here. So it has seashells on the bottom and then different layers going up. And so on here, it shows the layers right here. I feel like the most confusing part was there isn't anything on here that shows green. So we were slightly confused about which way the layers were supposed to go. So we kind of followed this and kind of did our own thing. So it still worked out. And then there was this little tree that we assumed just went on the top. But it was a fun way to see how layers work and to kind of show the kids how rocks are formed over years and years and years. And then the last activity, it wasn't really much, like it didn't take very long or anything, is just this keychain. So here, the stone that's in here is the 6th stone. So like I said, there's 5 here. It tells you to keep your favorite one off of here, and then you get to put it in your little keychain right here. And this just pulls apart because it's like a spring, like a slinky, and then you just stick it in. So that was a lot of fun for them as well. They're excited for the keychain. They really just like to pull this thing. That's really all they care about. I have kids that are screaming. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, this is real life over here. My kids were fighting and my husband's in meeting, so here we are. Such is life. So the last thing I wanted to mention was these few things on the very back page of this booklet. And they have this, you can scan it right here, or it gives you the website, and it gives you other crafts you can do. I believe it's been a few days since I looked at it, but there was one to like make a volcano. There's one I think to look at layers, maybe of the earth, I can't remember for sure. And also to make rock candy, which is fun. I used to do that when I was a kid. And then this one is you can scan to take a quiz. I think there was only 4 or 5 questions. Again, it's been a few days since I looked at it. But they're very simple questions, but just kind of a check to see how much your kids understood of what you're doing. So you could have them do it individually. You could do it as a whole group and just see or have each of them answer questions type thing. You know, and that would just be a lot of fun. And I haven't really seen that kind of thing in subscription boxes, to have this kind of check of their knowledge and understanding after doing all these hands-on activities. So I just thought that was a lot of fun. So that was the Oyster Crate. We enjoyed it. We enjoyed working together mostly. There's always struggles working together, but we had a fun time. I felt like we learned quite a bit. There was a lot of really fun hands-on activities and things that my kids can continue to use and see visually as reminders of what they learned. I like the idea of getting a subscription every single month that kind of exposes you and your kids to different occupations or professions, to kind of help them see where their interests lie, because then you can see, oh, they really like this one, we can do more stuff with this. And so I just thought that was really cool. And remember, I have codes for you. They'll be listed down in the description box if you want to check it out, if you want to just give it a try and see if it works for your family. And if you enjoyed seeing this video, please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you next time.